December the 19th. It is 9:14 in the evening, and I am doing a random video at night, just an episode. Actually, I was thinking earlier in the day today when I was at work, this thing had popped into my head, and I knew I wanted to do an episode. And the reason why I wanted to do an episode like this is because I know that there are a lot of people who listen to me that are, struggling with astral projection or shifting. This is also very apparent on the subreddit. There are a lot of people who struggle. There are a lot of people that are frustrated. They're looking at the latest method. They're talking about the fact that they're going to try this method and they're going to shift tonight for the shifting community, or they see a method in the astral projection subreddit and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this and it's going to work, and they're very confident about it, and as you should be. But I know that there are a lot of people that are frustrated, that are like, why isn't it working for me? I see all these success stories, but for me, it isn't working. And I always kind of try to say, hey, look, don't think that way. Do not beat yourself up. I talk about those things as well. But I wanted to offer maybe some inspiration to you guys and a way to think. This is not what I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about tonight with you is not a method, okay? I see a lot of methods out there. This is not a method. To me, this theory, these thoughts that I'm going to give you, this is just a way of thinking that I will hope will help you to perhaps start in the direction of being able to, astral project or to shift if that is what you want to do. I'm hoping that it can inspire you and it will send you in the right direction, because in my mind, in my opinion, this is to me the correct way to think about it. But let me get right into it, because you just want to hear this. You want to hear what my thoughts are about this, what my thoughts are on this. I guess, I don't know, you can't say it's a technique, just this way of thinking that I think will, hopefully it will open up your mind, and it will, start you on the right direction, especially those that are just beginning. So let's take a moment to talk about our conscious minds and the way that we navigate our lives. Okay, now I've talked about this, but today I was really thinking about it. And I was like, it's so interesting. So our conscious minds, right? This is what we do. And I've kind of talked about this before. Our conscious minds are there to help us to go to work or to go to school, right? They help us through life. They help us through dealing with things with family and, relationships, friendships, all the things that are part of our 3D world. That's what our conscious minds do. That's pretty much kind of its job. Its job is to help us get through life. It helps us to navigate through our lives. But what's interesting to me is that I think in some ways we're depending on our conscious minds to get us kind of out there with these methods and things, right? So you may have heard me talk about letting go before, and you've probably heard people on the subreddit, or if you're there or whatever, you may have heard people talk about letting go. Like, what does letting go really mean, right? Well, letting go is trusting. I would say that it's trusting your more expanded self, which is you, to be able to do what you wanted to do in regards to shifting or astral projection. So we start this out when we lay down. We lay down and, we shut our eyes and we're going through whatever method we're doing, but we're doing that with our conscious minds to do it. Instead of, and this is what I think might be something to think about. Think about this for a second. What if instead of laying down and being really focused and going, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use, I don't know, the Raven method. I don't know. All these methods I always hear about. I'm going to do this. And when I'm sitting there and I'm picturing this, then it's going to happen. I'm going to shift, right? Or I'm going to astral project. Instead of doing that, why not change your entire attitude about it? Why not sit there before you even lie down, before you shut your eyes, before you do any of those things, you just say, this is what I want to do. This is what I have wanted to do since, I don't know, whatever. You tell your more expanded self, because your more expanded self is there and has always been there. So your more expanded self is going to listen. I don't want you to think, well, how do I get in contact with my more expanded self? You are your more expanded self. So all you have to do is say, this is what I want. And then if you want, you can address it as your more expanded self and say, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. All right. So you put it out there. You speak to your more expanded self. And then after you've done this, then all you're going to do is lie down, right? Close your eyes. And the only thing you have to focus on, you're not focusing on a method and all these things. You're not getting all complicated. Your only focus is to quiet your thoughts as much as you possibly can. Relax, focus on your breathing, whatever that is to you. People have different techniques in relaxing. But that's all you are doing at that point. Because you've already told your expanded self that this is what you want to do. Now, trust that your expanded self is going to take care of business at that point. And now you're going to lay down and you're going to relax. And you're just going to be like, okay, I'm just chilling. And you're not thinking, you're not obsessing. Okay, I'm going to say this. You're not obsessing. You're not desperate about it. You trust that you'll get there. You are trusting yourself, which is really when you're talking about going out into the astral plane or going out and shifting realities, you're talking about your more expanded self. Now, earlier today when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about cars, right? And that these are different cars. You have shifting cars and you have astral projection cars, right? I don't know. Anyways, maybe you guys are going to be listening to me going, oh my gosh, he's lost it. But this is how I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it as, so we are expecting our conscious minds to get into the reality shifting car or the astral projection car, or maybe even the hybrid, hybrid shifting and astral projection. And we're expecting it to drive, right? Through these methods and things like that. We're expecting it to drive that car. And once it gets into the car, it's looking at the car going, okay, I don't know about this. I know about, going to the store and getting some food when I'm hungry. I know about, thinking about, treating my significant other nicely or whatever. It knows about those things. But in regards to going to different realities or dealing with different worlds, that's a whole nother thing. So it's just sitting there at the controls of either of those cars and it's just staring at them. So I say this to say that this is what is meant by letting go. You are letting go of your conscious mind at this point. You are letting it go. you are trusting in your more expanded self, the part that's gonna get you out there, because your conscious mind, if it's out there and, if it's riding along with you, and it does, again, and as I said before, it's in the back seat, it's checking things out. It is at times looking at things going, oh, this is insane. This is crazy. We're in crazy town. Where is the world? Where's the 3D world? Because I don't understand what all of this is. And many times, again, this can contribute to why, maybe you wake up because you're just like, your conscious mind can't take it. Your conscious mind's seeing all these things and it's overwhelming. So what I'm suggesting is to allow the more expanded part to take over and to do its thing and to see if that actually works for you. Now, you can also think of it this way, that in the frustration, when you're thinking about how frustrated you are because you're not shifting or you're not astral projecting, and this may not be very popular, especially with folks that are shifting, but I'm going to say it because it is something that is on my mind and something that I'm thinking about. It may be that your more expanded self doesn't feel at that moment, at that time, that it's the right time to do it. It may, for whatever reason, because again, it's seeing things. Let's just look at it this way. If you were standing on, in your neighborhood looking out, and it's you're just seeing the area that you are in, your more expanded self is hundreds of thousands of feet in the air, and it's seeing the big picture. And at that point that you're at, it may feel like, no, this is not the right time to do it. Does it mean that it'll never be the right time to do it? Not necessarily. I don't know. It really depends on your life path, right? Because I don't know you, but it certainly doesn't help to get frustrated about it. It certainly doesn't help you as someone who's trying to make it out there to be angry with yourself, or even to start to hate yourself because you're not able to necessarily get out there, or you're not making it out there. That's bad. That's much worse. And that's going to make it much more difficult in my mind to be able to get out there. There's so much I want to talk about with this. I think I'm going to leave it here for now, but I really want you guys to start changing, perhaps thinking about changing the way you think about this, in the sense that it isn't your conscious mind getting you out there. Just remember this part. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much, but just think about it this way. It isn't your conscious mind getting you out there. It's your more expanded self that's getting you out there. So allow it to do its job and stop trying to take over and interfere. Let it do what it's there to do, which to me, in my mind, my more expanded self, that's what it does. It does that, and it does a lot of other things, but yeah, it knows that terrain. It knows all the different realities. It knows the astral plane. It knows all of those things. It knows a lot more than my conscious mind does, which again, I'm not putting my conscious mind down, because its job is to navigate the world. So let them do their jobs. And with your conscious mind, hey, hopefully you can get out there when you're having an experience. Just go along for the ride, because it is a fun ride to go on. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I will do more videos like this if you guys want. Until next time, take care.